If you're trying to really make sales through LinkedIn, you want to pay attention a lot to a LinkedIn Social Selling Index, their SSI. The cool thing about the SSI is that it's constantly being updated, and it's a pretty good and innovative way to actually reach more customers, more I think more of your target audience. Okay, more customers, more prospects, all that kind of stuff. So in today's conversation, I want to talk to you about how to use LinkedIn's Social Selling Index. But before, let me just define for you what we are talking about. Okay, what is LinkedIn Social Selling Index, the SSI? Basically, this is a tool that allows you. Okay, it's a sales strategy that allows you as a marketer to actually build relationships with your target audience by actually posting valuable content, starting conversation, all kinds of conversations, or even messaging prospects. Okay, so this is a pretty powerful tool because when you think about it, LinkedIn actually has hundreds of millions of active users every single month. Okay, so the LinkedIn Social Selling Index score uses a formula that compares your LinkedIn account to others in the same industry and does something very nice. It basically assigns points for various features of social selling. So your LinkedIn SSI score is a number out of 100. So a high SSI score means that you are a good social seller, while a low score means you may need to improve your personal brand or even your business brand or engage with your audience more. It's all about engaging with your audience. It's all about knowing exactly what your audience wants. So as a brand, you want to be above 75. Okay. So if you want to be seen as a good social seller, you want to be above 75 because this helps you secure a standing as a thought leader or decision maker in when it comes to LinkedIn. That's important. And social selling is important because nowadays you have literally hundreds of billions of dollars happening when it comes to online sales happening through social. And LinkedIn, like I said, LinkedIn is a great spot to be in, especially if your niche is focusing on professionals. Now, what does the social selling index measure? Let me really drill down a little more so you have a clear idea and how do you actually what strategy to adopt and what kind of positioning you should have this year. I mean, social selling is not going away. Okay, especially during COVID a couple of years ago, that was really social selling was just very powerful. I mean, because everybody was home, right? Nobody had to go to work. People were home, and they needed a place to actually hang out at, if you will. So basically, if you think about the social selling index, you have four main categories, four main metrics that this SSI measures. So you have the ability to as, uh, let me just let me just clarify. So the SSI will help you know whether or not you're doing a good job at establishing your professional brand, at finding the right people, at engaging with insights, okay, and also building relationships. Let me explain. So when I speak about establishing your professional brand, you have to remember that people actually will do business with you if they trust your brand, right? So everything starts with branding. Everything starts with how you position yourself in an ever competitive LinkedIn market. So this metric, actually, this part of SSI evaluates the length of your LinkedIn profile based on how complete it is. For example, LinkedIn looks at your endorsements and the amounts of information in your profile, so that they can see whether or not you are quote unquote a valuable brand or not. So establishing your professional brand is one metric to really pay attention to if you are trying to boost your SSI. Another way to boost your SSI is actually making sure you are finding the right people. So, to measure your ability to find high quality connections, LinkedIn evaluates your activity on its Sales Navigator tool, which is only for premium LinkedIn users, though. So, you will need to show you can create meaningful connections and actually build your professional network, okay, with relevant people using the tools LinkedIn provides. The cool thing is that LinkedIn is trying to make sure that you have what they call your a very high relevance score. So a high relevance score tells LinkedIn that you are indeed finding the right people, and then you are actually nurturing the best high quality connections for your niche. Another way to actually increase your LinkedIn SSI metric is to actually contribute to the platform as a whole. How do you contribute? How do you add value to the platform? Well, you add value through your insights. Whether you are a professional or an entrepreneur or a business representative, if you always come with high quality insights, okay, LinkedIn is going to reward you big time. The platform actually evaluates LinkedIn users on the posts they create and share, how active they are, and how much engagement they receive from their peers. So, the more your peers react to your post, the more LinkedIn is going to boost. I mean, the more LinkedIn is going to give you a higher score. Okay, the more likely, if you will. So, this metric actually tracks posts, especially their frequency, comments, and even messages and connection requests to determine overall engagement on the platform. Like I said, LinkedIn wants to see how much you are contributing, how much value you are adding to the input to the platform, and also building relationships. So this final metric measures how well you're able to network in your industry, and also make connections with your audience. So the metric actually does something wonderful because it tracks how often you reach out to other users and how successful those interactions are, both in messages but also on public posts. So that really shows LinkedIn again that you're adding value big time to the platform because you're not there just to spam people. You're there to really establish meaningful relationships, and that you're sending requests to the right people, to the relevant people. Okay, and that's what LinkedIn wants to reward. One thing I want to say here is that if you think about your SSI score, those four items like establishing your professional brand, finding the right people, engaging with insights, and building relationships, those four brains are not just like they're not equally allocated. Like they're not 25%, 25% each. YouTube doesn't really publish how they allocate the percentage, but yeah, just want to let you know that it's not really equal. So, how do you find your LinkedIn's social selling index? What is your SSI? Okay, what you want to do is you. By the way, like I said, you need to be part of the. You need to have a premium account. Okay, so if you don't have a premium account, you can't really see it. So finding your social selling index on LinkedIn is kind of simple. You just want to log into LinkedIn, and so once logged in as a user, you can view your SSI page. There is actually a page, a dedicated page that really helps you know whether or not you are pretty high, okay, when it comes to your SSI. Again, remember that high social sellers on LinkedIn want to have a minimum of 75. Okay, so this really tells you what you should be aiming for. And the cool thing about LinkedIn SSI is that it really tells you how you are comparing, how you are stacking up against others in the industry. So you want to go to the dedicated SSI landing page, visit the SSI page. There you will see a dashboard with your social selling index in the center of the stage. Okay, and at the top of the page, you will find your percentage rank in your industry, and your rank within your network. This is, if you see on the screen here, the kind of picture that I'm showing you, this is exactly how it looks like. So just looking at the info, it's not the only thing. You want to review the details. Maybe you're happy with the details or not happy. Okay. So in addition to your numerical score, you can see how LinkedIn breaks down your score according to each of the four pillars. Remember the four pillars? Establish your professional brand, find the right people, engage with insights, and build relationships, right? So you are getting from LinkedIn insights into your strengths and areas of improvement. So that's pretty good because it gives you flexibility. It gives you the ability to constantly improve your game, to constantly boost your game. This is an important element to actually think about in the long run. So let me talk to you now about how to improve your LinkedIn SSI score. If your goal this year is to actually use LinkedIn as a primary platform for social selling, it's important to be established big time on the platform and be established in a very let's say solid way. Okay, so if you want to improve your SSI, you want to focus on improving your point score for each of the four pillars that I just gave you, right? So let me. What I want to do is I want to go through each of the four pillars, and I want to tell you what you can do for each of them to actually increase your SSI index because the rules of the games are different for each metric or each quarter, each sub metric, if you will. Okay, so let's talk about establishing your professional brand, which is actually one of the top categories. One thing I want to say here is that remember that each category can allot 25 points or more or less. Again, LinkedIn is not publishing that proprietary data. They take it as proprietary. But one thing for sure, you can just say, you know what, E- e- each of the four elements accounts for 25%, and just work from there. Okay, so establishing your professional brand. So for a good SSI score, your LinkedIn account needs a professional cover photo and resolution profile photo. So having a complete and current job history with job titles, details on your roles, and accomplishments can also significantly boost your score. And lastly, asking your prior clients and colleagues to recommend you for specific skills will actually fill out your LinkedIn profile and help bump up your SSI big time. Okay. So if you want to establish a professional presence on LinkedIn, you want to have a complete profile. Okay. So profile completeness is going to be very key here. You want to have a multimedia on profile, cover photo. Think about endorsements and think about long form posts and followers from those posts too. Let's talk about the second metric here: finding the right people. Finding the right people is going to be quite essential for you if you are trying to really boost your profile this year. Let me explain. Basically, to boost your score in this category, you will need to use the LinkedIn Sales Navigator to prove that you can successfully find prospects. Right? It's all about making sure you are creating the relevant connections. LinkedIn wants to make sure you're reaching out to folks who matter to you and who think that you matter too. It has to be it has to go both ways. So the sales navigator is going to be your friend big time here. Be sure you are using every tool the sales navigator provides to show the system you are a pro. So use the client relationship management system to manage contacts and learn how to use automated messaging to your advantage, right? Because LinkedIn actually has built in the last few years a pretty powerful CRM tool, client relationship management tool, and that tool is going to help you actually stand out in a very crowded market, right? Especially if you are trying to really go after a let's say a pretty high value target audience. So when you talk about finding the right people, you want to prospect efficiently with powerful search and research capabilities. So think about advanced lead and account searches. Think about prospecting profile views, inbound profile views. Think about leads saved, and think about days active. This active is going to help you know whether or not this person, this contact, this lead is actually active on the platform or not. Because the last thing you want is to actually go after someone who's not active on LinkedIn, right? That's just a waste of time, not only for you but also for them. Because if they're not there, I mean, they probably will see your messages once they come back to the platform, but that would be a waste of time for them, especially if they think that your connection actually was was relevant in the first place, right? So relevance is number one, but also the timing. It has to be important also. Another way to boost your SSI, your LinkedIn SSI, is to really pay attention to how you engage with insights. Okay, and again, I said this before, but it's important that when it comes to engaging with insights, LinkedIn wants to make sure that the platform becomes an information hub for its users. It's hundreds of millions of users. Okay, so posting frequently, at least 3 times a week, let's LinkedIn know and your followers know that you are active, and this will boost your engagement score big time. Plus, posting regularly increases your chances of having content go viral, which can add more points if other users like, share, or comment on it, right? You want to have this possibility to actually, you want to have this option of actually adding value to a larger number of people. Now, the quantity of content you share is important for your LinkedIn SSI, and the quality is too. The quality is important. So don't just say, it's all about numbers, numbers, and numbers. I mean, the more your LinkedIn posts encourage conversations and interactions, the more points you will receive in this category. So when it comes to engaging with insights, discover and share valuable information to initiate or maintain a relationship. So engagements given and received, engagements received on long form posts, shares, messages sent, and email response rate, groups joined, accounts saved, and research views too. So the fourth cluster when it comes to your SSI is building relationship. Okay, building relationships. So basically, you want to comment on the post of other users with an insight or a question about the post to establish yourself as a thought leader. That's what you want. Okay, when you identify a good potential lead, dive into their direct messages and craft a unique and targeted message to actually grab his or her attention. So that's an important element to actually not only start the conversation, but also establish a long-standing interaction, if you will. So when it comes to building strong relationships, you want to actually expand your network to reach prospects. So you want to expand your network to reach prospects and those who can introduce you to prospects too, right? And so here I'm speaking about connections, VP plus connections, but also internal connections. And finally, you have the ability to look at your acceptance rate for a connection request sent. So anytime you reach out to someone, they have to be willing to accept your connection request sent. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about LinkedIn SSI. How do you use this SSI tool to increase your brain, to improve your brain, but also increase sales? Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.